ID, call forwarding, call waiting, and call blocking.
I think it's time you cut the blue wire.
Cut the blue wire. Save up to $250 on your phone features with RevVoice. Get RevVoice. Save money.
Coming up tonight on our news.
An F&M MP echoes calls for Bahamians to leave politics out of the upcoming referendum. That story straight ahead on our news.
A budget has still not been set for the gender equality referendum. That story straight ahead. Tonight in news, the Democratic National Alliance ratifies 2 more candidates as the party moves closer to completing its full slate of hopefuls to run in the 2017 general election. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, developer Sarkis Izmirlian has thrown his hat back into the ring in a bid to get Baha Mar completed and operational as soon as possible. According to a statement released by BMD Holdings, an offer has been made to China Export-Import Bank, which would open Baha Mar and pay unsecured creditors at no discount to the bank on its Baha Mar funding. Izmirlian says he is committed to rehiring former Baha Mar employees who were laid off as a consequence of the winding up liquidation process to which Baha Mar is now subjected. Izmirlian notes there is no other potential owner who has the expertise, capabilities, and commitment to move quickly to get this project opened and running to make the Bahamas proud. Izmirlian says BMD Holdings will continue to fight the winding up through the courts following a positive meeting with Prime Minister Perry Christie last week. Time is of the essence, the statement reads, and BMD Holdings says it is prepared to move forward immediately with Exim Bank on the offer. In a letter sent by Izmirlian to China Exim Bank President Liu, Izmirlian outlines his offer while lashing out at the sale process launched by the property's receivers, asserting that the process is opaque, fraught with obstacles and irregularities, and is not designed to maximize value for all. Prime Minister Christie yesterday told reporters he was pleased with recent meetings conducted with bank officials on the future of Baha Mar Sunday morning. However, he notes that we will have to wait until those bank officials arrive in China to determine the next steps. Well, Prime Minister Christie is denying that the government helped to fund the completion of Baha Mar's Convention Center. Christie tells our news team that it was, in fact, China Exim Bank that covered the costs in time for the Inter-American Development Bank's annual general meetings held at the center this past week.
The government didn't do that.
Oh, no?
No, that was done by the bank.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. The Prime Minister's comments come days after the government's project coordinator for the IDB, Janine McCartney, said the government assumed the cost to finish the convention center. According to McCartney, the government budgeted around $6 million to prepare for and host the event. While a Free National Movement member of parliament is urging Bahamians to vote based on facts, not politics, during the referendum on gender equality scheduled for June 7th. Loretta Butler Turner says while she was disappointed that the 2002 referendum failed, it is time for F&M supporters to forgive the Progressive Liberal Party, which supported the referendum bills in Parliament back then, only to encourage Bahamians to vote no. Vonique Toot reports.
Amid calls for Bahamians to leave politics out of the upcoming gender vote, Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner admits that some F&M supporters have indicated they will vote no in June to get back at the PLP, which campaigned against the referendum brought by the Ingram administration back in 2002. However, she made it clear now is not the time for emotions or retribution, insisting now is the time to right a wrong.
I'm going to use this opportunity to encourage Bahamians everywhere to remove the emotionalism and the thoughts of retribution out of their minds, because really what we're hoping to do on June the 7th is to correct a wrong and make sure that generations of Bahamians to come will be able to have a society in which they feel equal.
Butler Turner's comments come one day after former Senate President Lynn Holoesco asserted it would be immature for Bahamians to turn the June 7th referendum into a political football.
If we are to grow as a nation, and if we each want to contribute to that growth, we must recognize that everything we say or do should not be based on our political affiliations. There are times when country must be above parties. We cannot, in good conscience, base our decisions and decide such issues on politics or on spite.
Butler Turner echoed those comments, but says sadly some F&M supporters don't see it that way.
And I've taken the time personally to speak to individuals who have said that to me. I think that there comes a time when we must place country above politics.
The F&M MP urged Bahamians to vote on facts, insisting that while she is hugely disappointed that the 2002 referendum failed, it is time for F&M supporters to forgive the PLP.
I would admonish, advise, really truly invite Bahamians to get to know the facts. Do not get caught up in all of the propaganda, and let us not take out our frustrations. Let's be forgiving of what the PLP has done to us over these past 15 years in keeping Bahamian men and women as unequal citizens. Let's correct it. Let's make it right.
The Long Island MP says she plans to recruit representatives in her constituency to promote the message of the Yes Bahamas campaign. Reporting for our News, I'm Vonique Tude.
And while a date has been set for the upcoming gender vote, the government has not said how much it will cost taxpayers. Jasmine Brown has that angle.
With the referendum less than 2 months away, Nottage admits there is still a lot of work to be done, but he could not say what it would all cost. When asked about the budget, Nottage said this.
I'm not able at this time to say what the cost would be.
In August 2014, Nottage said in the House of Assembly that the government budgeted $1.4 million for the initial referendum on gender equality. The January 2013 gambling referendum cost taxpayers $1.2 million. 2 years after making that announcement, Nottage now says
There's no special budget for the referendum.
Nottage, who is the minister responsible for elections, said money has to be spent on a number of things.
We're going to have to spend some funds because people who live abroad in those areas where voting will take place abroad, people will have to go to prepare that and to conduct the elections. The fact that a new register is being prepared means that money is being spent right now on matters related to registration. So there's no special budget, but the parliamentary commissioner has indicated to us some of the things that he needs relatively urgently. One of those, for example, is the indelible ink, and so you have to order that.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
In other news, an island-wide manhunt has resulted in the return to custody of 5 Cuban men who reportedly escaped from the Carmichael Road Detention Center Saturday. The Defense Force said today that around 12:30, the RBDF, in conjunction with police and immigration officials, apprehended 4 of the 5 men in a dilapidated villa near the waterside by the South Ocean Hotel in southwestern New Providence. The RBDF says the other man turned himself in. The men, who range in age from 26 to 42, escaped around 10 p.m. Saturday, according to officials who say an investigation into the escape is underway.